Hi friends, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK and welcome to episode 3 of my 6x6x6 paper pad series. And today I'm using the Chanel Starshine collection to try and get some of these papers used up. I think I've got 3 of these 6x6 paper pads. I have no idea how I ended up with 3 of them, and I just need to get them used. So I've already gone ahead. I've got these little photos that have been in my stash since 2006. Now, I've said before, I've not been a scrapbooker that whole time, so it's not as if I haven't, I haven't scrapped them, but I didn't really know what to do with them. And I think they're about 2x3 size-ish. So I decided I've already backed them on some black cardstock, and I tend to do a lot of backing on white cardstock, but on this time I decided I had some scraps of black and I was going to use them. And then I'm just cutting strips of these 6x6 papers to use as vertical strips down my page. Now what I do end up doing is going back in and using a second sheet of the same pattern. If you don't have a second sheet of the same pattern, then what you could do is just cut slightly thinner strips and have 2 3-inch strips. Stupidly me, these photographs are about 3 inches wide, and then by the time I've backed them on the black, they've come to about 3¼ inch. So I didn't have enough of the paper on a single sheet to line the whole page. So if you're more sensible than I am, you'll use 1 sheet and just cut it straight in half. So I'm just deciding which side of the paper to use. For some reason I had some funny marks on this, but I'm going to cover it up with this paper, and it's another great way as well. If you've got sort of marked cardstock, don't worry, stick some paper over it, get it covered up. So I'm just sticking this down and just fighting with that double-sided tape. That double-sided, this stuff's the bane of my life. I really need to get on and refill my ATG, because life's too short to be peeling tape off the back of double-sided tape. So yeah, I'm just sticking this photograph down, and then I'm just going to continue on with that pattern paper all the way to the bottom of the layout. So I do skip through this in a second, but the whole point of this is I've used the 6x6 papers to do a full strip on a 12x12 layout. So because you've got a photograph in the middle that's separating the 2 pieces of paper, it doesn't matter about there being any cut lines. You're not going to see it because that's where the photo joins. So just like that. Now you could also, because of the size of the photographs I've done, if you go with a bigger size photo, again, you're not going to have the issue with the size of the 6x6 like I have. It's just because I didn't think about it beforehand. I don't really have much of a plan most of the time. I just get in my craft room and just start sticking things, really. So there's the first strip down. So I do leave a little bit of a white gap between the vertical strips, and there's going to be 3 in total because there's 3 photographs, and that's all stuck down. Now onto the embellishment. So I am sticking to the same collection, so I am sticking to the Starshine collection for the embellishments on this one, and I like this blue, it's almost like a see-through sticker, and I knew that I wanted to use that. Now you can see the middle one there. I have got a bit of a white gap where I have underestimated my cut. So I'm going to bring in this strip from the 12x12 cut apart sheet, and I love the sentiment on it anyway. So I'm going to use that to go all the way across the middle, just underneath the photographs, and that's going to cover up that little white gap that I've created there. So if you ever find that you've ever cut your paper too short, if you don't want to recut it, or you don't have any more to recut it from, then use an embellishment, use some washi, just use something else to cover it up. Don't worry about the fact that there's what you would class as a mistake. There's always something else that you can use just to cover it up. So just popping down some double-sided tape on the back of this strip that I've cut from the 12x12 cut apart sheet, and across underneath the photograph that goes, and that is the little white space that I'd accidentally left all covered up. So I'm just going to come back in with this blue strip, and I do decide to, I wasn't sure whether I was going to run this the whole way across, and I was going to try and tear it there, but because of the type of, it is more a clear sticker than it is a washi strip, it just wouldn't let me tear it. So I'm just going to turn this into a bit of a fishtail banner, just to give it a little bit of interest, and just pop that down there. And I like how that looks, and I like where it ends at the end of the photos as well. So coming in with the ephemera packs, there was a lot of acetate in this ephemera pack. And acetate's a bit of a nightmare to use, you know, with any type of glue. Especially as well if you're using a white background, acetate's not always your friend. So a good tip is, if you're going to use acetate, use it on a coloured piece of pattern paper, and something that's not too busy. So that capture the moment, I'll give you an example. That capture the moment piece of ephemera that I'm looking to use there, the acetate piece, as soon as I put it on that polka dot paper, it gets lost. However, on that more plain striped pink and red paper, it's fine, it pops really nicely. So what I do is I pop some double-sided tape to the left where I know that that globe piece of ephemera is going to cover it. And that is how I adhere it to my layout. Now, you can use glossy accents. Glossy accents is another good way to stick down acetate. Make sure you use the glossy accents behind the actual, behind whatever's on the acetate. So, for instance, in this one, you'd put a bit of glossy accents behind the camera. And that would help disguise it when it's stuck down. There are some double-sided tapes out there that are meant to be super clear, but for me, I always see them through it. So I try to do something where I layer it up and you don't notice it as much. So just on to my title now. So I am going to mix and match alphas. This is a great way to use up alpha letters where you've got not enough to make a full title out of the same pack. And also it's a great way to use smaller and bigger alphas to make more of a statement. So this title here is going to be Let's Play Snooker, but I want snooker to be in big words, big letters should I say. I want it to be a big word. And so I come in with these little black foam alpha letters. I picked these up for £2 at Hobbycraft in the clearance section. It is always worth having a look in the clearance section to see if they have anything. And I'm sure you guys that are in America as well. One of my favourite things actually to do is go to Tuesday Morning, picking up the bargain craft items in there. So whenever I see something like these for £2, I always pick up a couple of packs because I know that they will definitely get used. And black is always obviously a staple colour in anybody's stash. So here I come in with, these are black glittery alphas. So you'll see me going from one pack to another. And this isn't to make you feel a bit seasick or anything like that. All I'm trying to do is, I've used more of the pack of the left, but I'm trying to get one pack down as much as possible, and then I'll transfer them all in together when there's a few left from that first pack. And yes, I know it says snooker, let's play snooker. I get that, but you will see in a minute I'm going to have to Frankenstein another letter because I have very quickly run out of E's. I know I'm not the only one that struggles with alphas, but don't worry, there's plenty of workarounds to get around it. So I could have used a back to front 3. I sometimes do that. So you'll see me here, I'm just going to cut down another letter just to give myself an extra piece. And honestly, you barely notice it. So just adding some glossy accents because let's face it, chipboard thicker letters do not ever want to stick. And glossy accents is a great way to get those stuck down. And then just one finishing touch, I felt it needed some more black. So I'm just coming in with a 0.8 fine line pen, and I'm just going to accent the strips all the way around on each of them. So thank you very much for joining me for episode 3. I hope you're enjoying the new series so far. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you all back here. If not a little bit sooner, I'll see you all back here on Monday for the next episode, episode 4 of 6 by 6 by 6. So I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.